Today we're taking a look at all the unreleased vehicles, parts of the Agents of Sabotage DLC updates for the Drip Fed. Honestly, we got a lot of cool vehicles. We have at least 2 new police cars, some unique vehicles as well, and we actually have some aircrafts as well, which Rockstar hasn't added in a little bit. So we're going to start off with the Inverto Coquettes D5. So this one's going to be priced at $1,730,000. It's going to be in the sports class, and it's going to be on legendary motorsports. So it is actually a really nice looking vehicle. It reminds me of the other Coquettes that we already have in the game. So it's a cool addition. And I think we might already have a certain type of this vehicle like this in the previous GTA games. So it's great that Rockstar decided to add this one, and I could definitely see some great customization to do with this. And as for the price level, I don't think it's too pricey. I think this is an average price for this. 1.5 to 1.7 is pretty good, especially for a vehicle like this. The next vehicle is one of the aircrafts that are coming into the game, and it's known as the Buckingham D7 Iron Mule. So it's going to be a total price of $2,345,000 with a trade price of $1,758,000 on war stock. This vehicle, I don't expect it to do anything like crazy, like have missiles or like have, machine gun or something like that. It could. I think it's going to be overall pretty basic one. At least for looking at the picture, it doesn't seem like it's going to be having any unique upgrades, but we most likely will be able to put this in our hangar where we can, add, resprays or any additions like armor or something similar to that. And it also seems to be like a sort of recent helicopter, at least in real life. So this is the vehicle that we could end up seeing in GTA 6, which is cool because it seems to be a sort of early look. Now, the next vehicle is going to be the Vapid Uranus Lost Speed. So for this vehicle, it's going to be a Sabotage Android Super Autos for a price of $1,140,000. For a vehicle like this, I don't expect it to be that pricey. So this is pretty average for the price of this vehicle. It's going to be in the Sports Classic, and it does seem to be only a 2-door. And it's just overall another basic kind of NPC looking vehicle. And I mean, it definitely is pretty older as well, but it's definitely going to be a vehicle that we'll be checking out. The next vehicle is the Vapid Firebolts ASP. This is going to be in the off-road class. It's going to be on Sabotage Android Super Autos for a total price of $1,894,500. Now this vehicle can actually be unlocked now. It's not really part of the Drift Fed officially, since it is available on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S for those that do the tier 4 of the new Agent of Sabotage challenges. So if you complete that, you're able to get this vehicle right away. It's going to take a little bit of time, obviously, for those challenges, but I'm just saying that you don't have to wait for it to officially release in order to use it. Honestly, again, like I was saying on my stream, it's not a vehicle I'm a big fan of. Just overall, the look is just not something I, like that much. And there's other pickup trucks in the game that I already like, especially the one that released in this update, or just even the Carrera in general. But overall, it's a cool vehicle, and if you can get it for free, I would recommend going for it. Of course, if you're not on these consoles, then you have to purchase it if you do like it. So this is going to be released a few weeks later, or a few months later possibly. And the price range is kind of expensive for a basic vehicle like this, but we'll see if Rockstar decides to go with some really cool upgrades on this vehicle when it releases officially. But just know it's probably going to be one of the later vehicles, I'm assuming, since it is available right now. Now we got another aircraft in the game, which is going to be the Titan 250D. And so far I heard this vehicle is actually amazing, mainly because it's not going to be a basic plane like the Titan where it doesn't have anything interesting on it. But this one seems to be somewhat a mix of like the Bambushka and the Titan. And it's just going to be extremely useful. And it's a huge plane, obviously, from what we can see. In the price range is going to be $4,870,000 for the regular price, and the trade price is going to be $3,652,500. So pretty much an average of $4 million for this plane. And it does again seem to be one of those vehicles that I see a lot of people purchasing if it's really useful. So I'll be having an in-depth guide for sure when this releases to check this out, and hopefully it is worth the money. Because sometimes when Rockstar has expensive vehicles or huge vehicles like this, it could just be one of those things where it's like more of a cash grab, like you buy it, waste the money. But this one seems to be pretty good. And the gunner as well, I think you control it as you're, if you're flying it. There's probably also guns as well. If you're a passenger, maybe the back will probably open up as well. So probably just a lot of unique features that are going to be on this aircraft. And then getting into the police cars, we have the Inverto Coquettes D10 Interceptor. So like I was saying in the video a few days ago, Rockstar was going to be adding the Coquette D10 Interceptor to the game, a sports car, which is going to be an emergency class, of course, on war stock. So this one's going to be pretty pricey, just like almost every police car, which is going to be $5,620,000 with a trade price of $4,215,000. I'm assuming you have to do one of the new dispatch missions to get that trade price. But this is a nice looking car, and I cannot wait for this to release. I thought this was going to be on day one, but it's not. Overall, we don't really have that many sports cars or any supercars that are police variants, so to have this is going to be pretty nice to check out. So this is definitely one of the vehicles I'm buying day one. there's a lot of police vehicles that Rockstar has released, and most of them are pretty good. Other ones though, it's just that Rockstar just really made it basic and used existing vehicles that were just not even that good in the first place and just made it a police variant. Like, it makes sense because it is one that's in real life, but at the same time, it's not a vehicle that a lot of people probably are going to be using. Just like this next one, which is the Willard Faction Interceptor. So like I was saying, the Willard Faction is a pretty cool vehicle, and with the right upgrades, it can be useful. Just like you can make this vehicle into the donk on the Willard Faction donk in game. However, it's not going to be something that I think a lot of people are going to be using as a police variant unless you're collecting them. But most people might focus on something such as, the Virtual Coquette D10. So for that one, it's going to be emergency as well. War stock cash and carry is going to be total price of $4,150,000 with a trade price of $3,112,500. So again, pretty much in the same price range, around $4 million for this vehicle. But again, I don't really see that many people being interested in this one. Now, the next vehicle that we have is going to be one of those unique vehicles, NPC ones that Rockstar is just adding into the game, which is going to be the Brutes Taco Van. We always see this, especially in story mode. So I think there's going to be some type of side missions that are going to be included with this, which I will talk about in a future video. But overall, you're able to purchase this and use this vehicle around the map. So when it comes to side missions that Rockstar adds, most of the time you don't have to purchase this vehicle first before you can do those missions. So I would probably stay away from this if you're not interested in that. Now, it isn't that pricey. It's going to be $345,000 with the trade price at $258,750. So if you do want to get into that, I do recommend taking a look at it. Or if you just want to have it, I mean, it's not going to be anything interesting. It might be classified as a Pegasus vehicle as well. So it's not going to be like you can change the colors. Maybe Rockstar could add that. But I think this vehicle isn't going to be really worth it, especially if you could just do the missions without it. But we'll see how Rockstar decides to go about this. But I am pretty interested to see how this taco van is going to work. And of course, we'll be having more videos on that as well as the side missions. And then for the final vehicle, that is going to be the Western Duster 300H Plains class on Warstock. Cash and carry is going to be a total price of $1,020,000 with a trade price of $765,000. So this is going to be a one-seater. It's a basic looking plane. It's not that interesting. I don't think it has guns on it, or at least it can be upgraded, I'm pretty sure. So it's just another one of those planes that Rockstar just threw in just for fun. I don't think people will be interested as much compared to like the Titans, since that one is going to be obviously a beast. But this is a vehicle I do recommend taking a look at if you're into planes, but just know it's not going to be anything unique, I think. But regardless, I'm pretty excited that Rockstar added some aircraft, because we haven't seen that in GTA Online for a little bit. Or at least the ones that they added recently weren't at least that cool. So I'm glad to see this again. So regardless though, pretty interesting when it comes to the unreleased vehicles. And I can't wait to see what Rockstar decides to do with some of them as well. Since when it comes to a lot of the vehicles, Rockstar has different options for each of them, such as like sunroofs or like fenders or just any little upgrade. Could be on certain vehicles, other ones not. Some also could have HSW, Imani Tech, etc. So can't wait to see how that goes. But that is all for this video. If you guys did enjoy, you already know what to do. Subscribe, put up post notifications. We'll be having a lot more content covering this new DLC. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.